Am I the a-hole for telling my 17-year-old daughter not to throw tantrums while I'm working? My 17-year-old had final exams today. She didn't get as high of a grade as she wanted. It was a C. She came home literally crying and screaming about it while I, 43-year-old female, was working up in my home office. My job requires a lot of video calls with other leaders in my organization, which is exactly what was happening when she came in the door. I had to mute myself so the background noise didn't carry and couldn't participate in my meeting. I didn't react angrily toward her, but later I made a semi-passive-aggressive remark about it. Something to the effect of, "Yeah, I love it when you come home screaming when I'm on a work call." She launched a verbal attack about how she can't help it that she is depressed and how could I possibly be angry, and said that I am horrible to her and don't care about her. I replied that she is allowed to be sad about a bad grade, but it doesn't warrant screaming and crying when she knows I am working. It's okay to be sad, but there is a time, place, and a way of expressing it that won't cause me problems at work. Which is important because that is what keeps a roof over our head and food on the table. So Reddit, should I be more sensitive to her emotional state, or was I perfectly justified in my reaction? I really want to know so I can either work on myself as a parent or show her the opposite viewpoints posted here. She is now demanding that I apologize to her, but I think I was being reasonable because at 17, she needs to grow up a bit to prepare to function in the real world, where that behavior won't be tolerated. I think she owes me an apology. Update. I appreciate all of your comments about how she may be experiencing an issue with her mental health. You're exactly right. I should have mentioned a few things. 1. We've had this conversation before about the importance of quiet, so yes, I have spoken to her about this naturally as a good parent. 2. Yes, she does struggle with anxiety and depression, and has been since she was little, but she has been in therapy that whole time and sees a psychiatrist. I have actively tried to help her for the last 14 years or so, and have been empathetic and patient. 3. I've always tried to correct this behavior. One problem is the co-parent I had working against me for so long, who did allow this behavior at his house and undermined me and put me down to my daughter. My daughter is now actually very aware that his behavior was unacceptable and acknowledges how hard I have tried to be a good parent all these years. Co-parent passed away like 6 years ago and still trying to undo the damage, but again, she is in therapy and sees a psychiatrist. 4. It's not just muting a meeting. I was expected to be speaking. 5. This kid is smart, and this was 1 grade, and overall her GPA is 3.8, and she is going to a local state school, so this 1 grade is not going to ruin anything for her. 6. She is always loud. She sings, she talks to herself, she sometimes sort of screeches for no specific reason. It's not a disorder, it's her personality. Let's call it a little bit of a main character syndrome. I've asked her nicely to keep it down many times before. 7. Yes, I could go into the office. It's a 40-minute commute each way, so with gas, mileage, and wear and tear, I just try to avoid it. I guess I feel like she isn't a little kid anymore and should be able to emotionally regulate more than she does. 8. Despite all this info, yes, a passive-aggressive remark isn't the way to go. I hear you on that one, and I truly do appreciate all your opposing perspectives. They do help me take a step back and reassess the situation.